are nonetheless right out in the middle of nowhere with virtually next to no internet. There are different catches on these locks. I'll get Chris to demonstrate how they lock into place.
And have a barbecue, although it's flame grilled. Of course, it wouldn't be a pig farm without these little fellas.
Good morning, folks, and once again we're cruising and still heading on the Oxford Canal. Chris is just coming up with a tea, so I'll step back a little bit. And not such a nice day today. It's a bit grey and overcast. There's a feel of rain in the air, and it's quite breezy. But other than that, it's not too bad. We are nonetheless right out in the middle of nowhere with virtually next to no internet. And as you can see, the canal is fairly narrow here. You'll probably see that on the bow camera. It's quite reedy and what have you. But we're heading for the pig place. And there's a name, isn't it? The pig place. That says it all. But you'll be surprised. We'll leave that until we get there and you'll be pleasantly surprised. Enjoy the cruise today.
As you can see on the map, we've started heading north. That's because we had some really good news from our eldest daughter Amy that she's getting married in September. So we're now hightailing it back up to Cheshire in time for the wedding. But today our 7-mile trip takes us through 5 locks on the way to the pig place. After filling with water at Lower Hayford, we carried on to Upper Hayford and through Allen's Lock. Then through Hayford Common Lock to Somerton, through Somerton Deep Lock, and then passing Ainhoe Wharf. And then the final 2 locks, Weir Lock and Nell Bridge Lock, before mooring up outside the big place.
There are different catches on these locks. I'll get Chris to demonstrate how they lock into place. But can you see the little O piece? This bit. That fits over that. Just like that.
You have to line it up though.
You have to line it up, but how weird. Like I said, the sky is not looking very good up ahead. That is very rain-laden looking sky, so we'll see how we go. Cameras have been put away, the GoPro's still on at the front, and I've still got the phone, so far it's dry, so keep our fingers crossed we don't get too much of a drenching. Well, the good news is the cloud is starting to clear up a bit. It's brightening up. There are a few blue bits of sky around us, so hopefully we've dodged the bullet and missed most of the rain. Looks like there's a blue sky coming up after this lump of cloud here, so fingers crossed, eh? Some quite pretty little moorings here, long-term moorings, but obviously the boaters here take pride in where they're moored. Really well kept here. So we're now at Somerton Deep Lock, and this is one of the deepest locks on this stretch of the canal, and possibly even on the network. It's 12'6" deep. Just look at the difference now. The sun's come out on that field. Looks absolutely glorious. But man, that sky's almost as black as a house ahead. Shee. Give you a sense of how deep it is. Poor Chris, bless her, he's struggling to shut the gate. There's no foothold, so she's struggling. So I'm just going to give it a blast of forward. It gives you an idea how deep this lock is. It's deep enough. And now the rain has kicked in again. As we're filling the lock. So I'm going to get off in a minute and I'm going to go and give Chris a hand with the other paddle. Despite the weather, when the rain stops, the views are to die for. Beautiful countryside round here. I must admit, this is much better than the Grand Union, by far. Really enjoying this canal, although I'm not enjoying today's weather, but still mustn't complain. It's been pretty good up to now. There are some pretty impressive cloud formations around at the moment. Just look at this one. Huge. Well, Chris just brought me up a nice cup of tea to warm me through. I must admit, although the sun is out, it does feel pretty cold at the moment, so the tea will do us nice. And of course, in one of our favourite mugs you probably recognise. railway's never far away. That's an impressive viaduct though. So we're now in another of the weir locks. This is Ironhoe Weir Lock. It's another diamond shaped lock, and for the life of me I can't imagine why they're diamond shaped, but it might look a small lock, but because it's double the width it still takes as much water as a double lock. Has a rise of mere 8.5 inches. It's a rather unusual lock, and it's called a weir lock because this is actually the River Cherwell and it crosses the canal. This is it to the starboard or right hand side, and this is the river coming through on the port left hand side. Now we're lucky today, there's very little flow, but I would imagine that when the river is in flood it could be quite hairy coming across this little stretch. But there you go. Today not a problem at all. That's the river just coming through underneath those arches there. Last lock for today. This is Knellbridge Lock. We've got a lift bridge just after this, and then our destination, the pig place, will be revealed. And of course you'll recall that as we came out the last lock we crossed the River Cherwell. Well, it also means the pound between that lock and this one is subject to the levels of the River Cherwell, hence this navigation board on this lock. Below the lock is subject to the levels of the river, whereas above this lock we're back on canal and not affected at all.
Do you want me to take your bow?
Well, I promised you all would be revealed with the pig place, and
Oh, it's shut.
what a place! They've got their own 3-piece suites out in here that you can sit on. It's amazing. There's a farm shop. They've got fire pits so we can have barbecues. But there's whole loads of places you can sit out. And of course, there's pig pens. Not forgetting them. And then there's the pigsty. It's a little bar, which is closed at the moment because it's late in the afternoon. But there you go.
One of the nice things about being at the pig place is you can sit out in comfort and have a barbecue, although it's flame grilled, and sit and have a drink and get kippered at the same time.
Yeah.
Food scoffed. The fires are roaring.
Rained on.
We've been rained on, blown on, but we're still sat in our armchairs and our settees, drinking wine, the pair of us.
Cheers.
Yes, Smudge, I agree with you. We have a supply of logs, we have a fire going, and we have a barbecue still hot. Warm as toast here, I'll tell you. See, the pig place isn't just about sofas and fire pits outside. They've got this lovely looking shed, and when it's chucking down the rain like it is at the moment, you can come in here and you can sit and have a drink, or if you want, like we're going to, you can have breakfast. But what a lovely place. I'm enjoying this place, I tell you. It's really cool. But it's the way the place is made up. The entrance is an up and over garage door, and one wall is made of doors.
Oh, but there's something special about those doors.
There's something very special about them.
All got numbers on.
They're all numbered outside, and there's
I
a
know what it is.
set of patio doors, and all will be revealed later why they've got numbers on. It even has its own bar, and there's no need to ask what the opening times are of the bar. The answer is pretty obvious. Earlier, that the side of the building was made out of doors, and all the doors have got numbers on. But can you guess what the significance of the numbers are? There's loads. All different shapes and size doors. The answer is the doors are house numbers of famous murderers. Stay overnight at the pig place without having their breakfast. I'll let you guess which one I'm having.
Because you're a piggy.
Now you can see what I chose. Looks a lot, but it's all toast, to be fair.
I'm going to have this toast.
It wouldn't be a pig farm without these little fellas. You like to take one of them home. These three are probably mum and dad. Yeah. What a place. Thoroughly enjoyed staying here. Everywhere you look, there's a three-piece suite. Before we go, we just want to pay a special thanks to our Patreon crew: Gary and Pam Reynolds, Teshik, Joe and Kev Doyle, Lynette Bowers-Flint, Leslie Marschietti, Frank and Bridget, Graham Lathers, Paul Sharman, Phil Ridges, and a special thanks to Clive Pugh. Thank you, Clive. And also this week, we'd like to welcome our first YouTube member, Ian Coxall. Thank you for your support, Ian. It's most appreciated.